Epic Books is a great resource for your students to read good books. There's even audiobooks, there's comics. Great website for students to browse books in their browser. So to get started, you go to getepic.com. At getepic.com, go to educators, and then you can choose sign up for free or sign up right here. So I'm going to click sign up for free. And I'm going to go through this really quick just so you see it, because there's a second page I want you to see. So I go through it, I put these in. You could put Fountains and Pinnell, F&P. Search for our school. Ravenswood Comprehensive Middle School will work. Hit continue. And then educators sign up with Google. Use this so that it links with your ARNet Google account. Again, that's educators sign up with Google. I'm going to stop here and I'm going to show you what it looks like once you're signed up and you can log in. So again, make sure you go to getepic.com and then choose educator and then sign up, going through those steps. So I'm going to log in. So I choose login, I choose student and educators, and I'm going to put continue with Google. Now your students, when they log in, they're going to enter in a class code here, and I'll show you where to get that class code. They're not going to log in with Google because they're students. So student login is here. And so they can go to students to get there also. So I'm going to choose continue with Google. Once I'm here, I'm going to choose my .NET account. And once I'm doing this, I can see several things. Some information from Epic and some interesting things, but I'm going to show you how to create your rosters, which are really easy because it syncs with Google Classroom. So once I'm logged in, I'm going to go to My Students and select Roster. Again, that's My Students and Roster. Once I'm here, I'm going to choose Add Students. And then really nicely, it says Import Google Classroom. Then it'll show me my classes. I can click on one that I want. And then I can scroll all the way to the bottom and put import selected classes. I'm not going to do that because that is not my class, and I've already imported some students. Once you hit that import button, it will show up over here a little thing that says 30 people inputted, and you'll see, here's your class summary, how many students you have. I have students that have already finished books, but I'm guessing this is from previous school years. I have my rosters. I can create groups of classes right here, which is a nice feature to have when assigning books. I can group students by reading level if I know their reading level. There's so much I can do with this. Again, I can add students if I wanted. Now, how do the students log into this once they're here? I'll show you. To do this, I go to My Students, Student Login. Again, My Students, Student Login. And they have a choice, remote student access or at school. My suggestion is for them to choose at school, because if they choose at school, they'll just need a class code. If you do remote student access, they'll have to put in a link, or they'll have to get a link. Their parents will have to sign up. It's kind of a pain. Now, if they do at school, all they have to do is put in this class code when they go to getepic.com/students. And they'll put in your class code. What I would do with this is I would share this class code with your students in Google Classroom once you have your roster set up. Now, I'm going to show you what it looks like for the student. So when I click Try Student Experience, it shows me all the students I have. So that is one thing that might be an issue, where kids decide to click on other students' accounts and use their accounts. But I think for me, that's a risk I'm willing to take because they're just reading books. That's all they're really going to be doing. So the student will put in that class code, and then they'll click on their name, and then they can start searching through tons and tons of books, some great books, comics. These books can be read to them, video and audio books. So there's some great stuff here. Now I'm going to return to the teacher view to show you one more thing that I think is a great thing about Epic Books. If I go to Explore or I go to Home, I like Explore. So go to Explore, I can choose different topics. So if I'm a science teacher, I can go to Earth Systems and find books about Earth systems. So I'm going to click into Earth Systems. And then what I can do is, let's say I find a good book on seismology. I can click Assign down here and assign that to students. So I'm going to click Assign. And then I can assign to a class. I can select all. Great way to assign books to students. So at the very least, you can sign your students up and share the class code so they can go to Epic, getepic.com, and they can read some great books. But if you want to assign books, you can also do that. That's the next step. But I think if we want our kids to be reading books, this is a great way to do it. One more thing, if you go to account settings under your name up in the corner, under your little icon guy, and you go to account settings, one of the things I'd like is allow students to create profiles. You can click that on, and you can change your avatars, all this stuff like that. And then you can find your class code to share with students. So again, they go to getepic.com/students, and then they can click in that way. I hope this is helpful. If you have any more questions, please reach out to me.